Okay, back at this again. Hi, everybody. Hope you're having a good day today. Enjoying this wonderful Sunday afternoon. I'm a little later than usual. Had to go out and take care of a couple things. Get the old watch out of the way here so we don't scratch up the card. But, yeah. I know this shot's been done a million times. It's one of my favorites, and I thought, well, you know, now I'll do my take on it. But here we go. Since artistically she's a very clean character, this one should pop off very quickly because there's not a great amount of detailing, because obviously it's not going to show much because it's a facial shot, but it's up close, so there's not a lot of the body armor and whatnot that I have to detail in. But nonetheless, we'll still make everything appear as it's supposed to. No slacking off. I've actually been getting a lot of fan requests, which is neat. A lot of people asking me for, you know, specific cards or whatnot, you know. It's pretty cool to see. And there are some choice cards which I can't do, unfortunately. Slim that line down, but you know, I don't do adult stuff, things like that, but I get a lot of those requests. You can see this shoulder right back here. I don't know if you guys can see that line or not. Again, I'm going to adjust these so that you guys can see more of the card. But I don't know if you can see this line or not, but I was actually going to have her, like, jumping, and when I draw this, I see it as a story, so I was having her jump across to save Batman, which is right back here. There's the point of his ear, there's the back of his shoulder, and the crest of his shoulder, and his cape right there, where he's going to be pulling up the Kevlar cape up with his arm right here in a fist, and saving himself, and then she was going to be jumping in front of him. That's the kind of thing I draft out a lot whenever I do these. So you guys get action poses out of them. Just a little insight into how I do it. And since I do these big ribbons of hair, a lot of people aren't going to like this, but and I'm sorry if you don't. It's just my style. I do the big swooping ribbons, so a lot of people are like, well, that's not the fine hair that Wonder Woman has. Well, when I black it out, it'll look just fine. Hang with me. So, trying not to make that tiara look too heavy. So, the modern one looks a little thick, and it's just not appealing to me. Getting a little heavy on the wavy, sketchy stuff because this card is fighting me a little bit. That's okay. turn this a little more so you can see more of what I'm doing instead of my big hand over it. Snapping this lid. There we go. Been doing a lot of heavy page work this weekend, so I'm a little heavy-handed on it. Knock this out, darken it in, get it done, move to the next panel. So look, Ma, no eyebrows. Unlike most of the characters I draw, I keep her. I try to keep her eyebrows really slim on her and Storm because it's just a different dynamic. They always are presented more feminine and well kept and maintenance. So I try to respect that design. Her raw shoulder up there. And again, like I said with the She-Hulk, not wanting to over define that because I do not want to mess that up and make it look too masculine. That's horrible. That whole bodybuilder thing, if they're not that type of character, it doesn't need to be done because then it makes them look too bulked up and look strange. So hey Tom, thanks for hanging out, man. Yeah, I hope it comes out alright. We're going to see. We're going to find out here in a couple of minutes. Because fortunately this one goes along really quick. Like I said, I don't have it necessarily in the classical design because these are more modern gauntlets or bracelets, whichever you prefer to call them. They're more of a New 52 design, which Jim Lee and a couple of other artists worked out. And I'm leaning towards that one just because they're easier to draw for this purpose and what I felt like hitting on today. So again, keeping it very clean, very simple, because I do not want to overwork those muscles. That is not a cool look. I sketched in like 20 more ribbons than I actually needed, so I get to pick and choose which ones I want that make it more dynamic as I darken it up. It's looking alright. And I was going to tell you guys, for the people that come on for the weekend, I was going to let you know ahead of time for everybody that doesn't come through. I have a big surprise coming out on Monday, so that's going to be very cool. And if you're a fan and follower of my work, you will really dig what's coming. And that would be Monday tomorrow, the 22nd. and we're going to see how well that goes off. Well, just be sure and do the work, Tom. I mean, you know, put in that extra focus for those. And I mean, I know you're practicing really hard lately. Like I said, man, just work that center line and work that facial cross. You'll be all right. Actually, I'm going to black that knuckle out. So, get in here, kick out this nose real quick. You have to be careful drawing aggression in women's eyes, because if you're not careful, you'll cut it off too sharp and you'll give them that slant thing that everybody likes to do, and it comes in from the wrong angle. I like to keep the eyes open and block the corners of the natural creases and closures, because this is an oval shape, and when everybody gets in there and goes, well, I'm going to draw angry eyes, and they draw that slope down, I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but I'll try to do one here. I do more of an oval shape and then draw in where the natural closures are at the corners. But most people like to do this manga-esque slopish thing, and the natural eye doesn't turn that way. I mean, it looks cool, but the natural eye doesn't dip that way. And a lot of people like to do that, and it's just, sometimes it can look awkward. So for me, I like to round them out a little bit. You still get that little corner crease, but you don't monkey it up too much, which is not cool. So, and then you still have an open, expressive eye. You get asked about that all the time. You should close your eye up. Why don't you close up the eye? It would look better if you closed up the eye. No, not for me. I want them to look natural and more human. So, that's, again, just a style choice. And unlike on a man's hand, these elevations right in between the knuckles where the muscles are, they poke up just a little bit. On a woman, just slightly different, because they're more like it's almost like a cloud. Like right here, it's a triangular flat edge, then a little raise, and then you've got that little line that comes off. I like to do that for them and just leave them simple like that, because a lot of people go in and put on all the veins and the little creeps and stuff, and they'll put in the cross-hatching down here. I don't like to do that, because then I end up choking out the detail. So it's like, well, how do you choke out the detail without doing it with doing all the detail? Well, you can do it very easily. If you overwork this stuff and you don't know exactly every little hair placement and whatnot, you can really mess up a drawing that way. So, very simple, done deal. Just for sake of argument, because it is a pose of her being attacked, I'll go in and put in this like little shot kind of thing. And I'll catch one off this other side over here. Curving that just a little bit. We'll put one right here. That way we won't black that out. And if we want, we can come down here and put in an action line like that. And now it looks like she's ricocheted it, so we can come over here and we can actually put in a smashed round, so we can make it like dented and come off like that. That'll work. Now I'm going to come in here and shade some of this hair down so she actually starts to look like a brunette. Or in her case, a raven hair. But to each their own. I don't know what you call it. You weren't specific enough. She's raven hair. So. And yes, that complaint does happen. She's coming along all right. Wow, she's actually starting to look like somebody. Had a hardcore loss this weekend. I don't know if you guys know or not, but Rich Buckler died, passed away this weekend, yesterday. So that was quite a shocker. Or day before. Now it being Sunday. That sadly was one of the comic book greats that I really enjoyed being friends with. I knew him through social media. I never got the chance to meet him face to face, but he was always pleasant, very respectful, super great talent, always nice to give feedback and whatnot, and let a 40-year-old rookie like me bug him to death with samples and things, and he never once complained. He was always really cool about it. So if you happen to know any talent like that, be sure and pick their brain and figure out what you can learn from them. But don't abuse the contact of the person itself. I was going to say contract, but don't abuse the contact itself. Make friends, be cool, show them stuff once in a while, ask them how they're doing, and be a real friend. That's what Rich always did, and he was a cool dude. That's going to be somebody that I'm really going to miss being able to talk to once in a while. This is coming along quite swimmingly. I'm very impressed with this, even if I do say so myself. And hopefully I don't sound too arrogant or cocky with that, because that's not my intent. But yeah, I'm liking this one. So, we've about got this done here. I'm going to go ahead and finish in this hair and keep hanging with you guys for a few more minutes. Yeah, Tom. That's all right, man. I actually got a request for this one being adult in nature this morning, and I was like, no, not gonna happen. Sorry. I don't know why I brought that up. It was just funny to me. That's been a craze lately. It's been coming back. A lot of people asking for more adult material, which I'm fine with that being in the market. It's part of the niche. It's fine. Hey, cool, whatever. But yeah, I have younger viewers, so if I disappoint because I don't do that kind of work, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. I also get asked a lot why I don't highlight more than I do, and it's just because of my style working a lot better with solids. So I just prefer to stick with what I know, and hopefully what you guys agree that I'm good at, and go from there. So, oh yeah, I was going to overlap that just a little bit. That works. So, there you have it. That's going to be the Wonder Woman card of the day. So, hope you guys dig it. I'll ink this and color it this evening. I know I'm a little later in the day than I normally am, so I'll still knock it out, and we'll go from there. Hope you guys like it, and I will see you tomorrow. Like I said, I'm gonna make this. Hopefully, gonna make this announcement if all goes well this evening. And thanks for joining. What you guys are gonna find out tomorrow is I'm going to be releasing Origins, Firestorm Comics Origins, which is the 6-page special edition story. You guys will find out about that. All the late viewers will find out about it as they see it. That is going to be released in the morning on firestormcomics.com. There's nothing to buy. It's going to be out there for free. So you guys will be able to review it and say, hey, you know, here's the story we got to see. But we'll go from there. Tomorrow's card. What do we have on schedule? It is a character called Killer Frost. She will be next up tomorrow. And as always, thanks for hanging out with me. We're going to get out of here so you guys can enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks a lot. Catch you next time.